Hey guys, I want to teach you some simple techniques that you can use to understand your chart and yourself a little bit better. And we're going to start by doing that by understanding your chart ruler. So let's dive in. Your chart ruler is going to show you what planet you need to pay a lot of attention to because this is going to have a really big impact on you. Your chart ruler sits at your first house and it tells you how people perceive you. It tells you a lot about your body and just generally like the first impression that people get of you. And paying attention to the planet that rules our first house will give you a lot of insights on what planets to look out for in the sky and what transits they're going through, because that's going to point you in a direction of what's happening for you at large. So let's dive a little bit more into this. So if you look at your chart, this is a chart that I pulled from my astrology software, but you can go ahead and find your chart on astro.com. Maddie has another really good video on how to pull up your chart on astro.com, so I would go ahead and take a look at that if you're unclear how to find your chart. But what you want to do, and I believe she also goes over this, is put it into whole sign houses. And I believe that whole sign houses are a really beautiful way to learn astrology in general because it makes everything very clear. What whole sign houses does is it breaks the houses down into 30-degree equal parts. So each planet is nestled nicely in a little house. Okay, so for your chart ruler, I want you to go ahead and look at the left side of the chart. Over here at 0 degrees of Taurus is where I've highlighted. And I'm actually showing you a picture of my birth chart right here. So there's all my information. Even if you didn't ask for it, there it is. So yes, this is actually called the eastern side of your chart. So just go ahead and look over there and you will find a sign. And that sign will give you an indication on what planet rules your chart. So let's look at the planets. So if you see Aries or Scorpio here, you know that Mars is the ruler of your chart. If you have Taurus or Libra, you know that Venus is the ruler of your chart. Gemini or Virgo, Mercury, Cancer is the moon, Leo is the sun, Sagittarius and Pisces is Jupiter, and Capricorn and Aquarius is Saturn. Now here, and this little note that I made in the corner just is to disclose that this is using traditional rulership. Modern rulership tends to be a little bit different. We're inviting some of the outside planets in modern rulership. So, for example, in modern rulership, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. But in traditional rulership, we're only using the inner planets as rulers and the luminaries. Okay, so this is something that I have found to be probably a bit important on how you move through life and how quickly or slowly you move. So each planet takes a different amount of time to move around the Earth, and this is from our perspective on Earth. So assessing the amount of time that it takes our ruler to move around Earth will help you realize, how do you function as an individual? Like, are you somebody who needs a lot of time, or are you somebody who moves rather slowly? So yes, here is another picture of the orbital plane on Earth. I did some examples of Saturn and Mars over here. Now let's go ahead and look. So if you're somebody that's ruled by the moon, you only take 28 to 30 days, or that planet only takes 28 to 30 days to move around the sun. So with that, you are... So that being said, you as an individual are going to go through faster cycles than other people. You're going to be affected more so by the moon than any other planet. Let's look at Mercury. Mercury takes 88 days to orbit the sun. This one, you're still going to be a relatively quick person. You take in information really fast, you share information really fast, you change your mind really fast. You're going to be a quicker person. Venus here, it takes 225 days to orbit the sun. This is a bit slower, but still, like, in comparison to something like Saturn, it's still pretty fast. Next one is the sun, takes 1 year. Mars takes 687 days. Jupiter takes 11.86 years, and Mars takes 29.46 years, or sorry, Saturn takes 29.46 years. So let's say, for example, you're somebody that's ruled by Jupiter. You're going to be naturally thinking like years in advance, like you are going to be having expansive thoughts and planning for the future and idealizing the future, and you are just a more future-focused person. Saturn, on the other hand, is thinking even more beyond that, but to the point where they're securing their long-term future. So Saturn is thinking years and years and years beyond. These are the people who are trying to protect their retirement years and who are trying to protect their children and things like this. They're so future focused to the point where they're establishing security in the long term. Mars, on the other hand, Mars is more quick. They're taking an approach that they do have a future focus, but they just want more fast action. Okay. So like I said, it's all about the speed. It says the planet in our luminaries that move the fastest will have the most noticeable shift day to day. Also, depending on which planet or luminary you're ruled by, can say a lot about how much shift you experience as an individual. So let's look again. We're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive. So if you're ruled by the moon, this represents emotions and desires. Since it moves so quickly, individuals ruled by the moon will experience more emotional shifts than others. And you can be seen as emotional, unstable, yet also very compassionate. And I would even add in there nurturing and motherly. The way in which these individuals emote is a huge theme. So, emotions and feelings and connecting to others on an emotional like realm or sphere will be very important for you in this lifetime. If you're ruled by Mercury, communication, information, mobile devices, and short trips, these will all be very big themes for you in this lifetime. Individuals ruled by Mercury crave information and can be seen as flighty yet intelligent. So, the ways in which these individuals communicate is a really huge theme. So, if you were ruled by Mercury, like I said, communication, speaking, writing, creating that in a way that helps people create new thought patterns or things like this. Just this like mental sphere is like really, really big for you. Next one would be Venus, which is what I'm ruled by. Love, beauty, social relationships. Individuals who are ruled by Venus have something notable about their appearance and the way they relate to others. So for you, communicating with others is big, but it's more so like communication to the point that you are relatable or people can connect to you. You more so thrive that connection. Where Mercury might communicate just to get the information across, Venus is communicating so that the relationship is formed and that there is some kind of relationship being nurtured. People who are actually very Venus dominant really care about like the social aspect of things, like how others perceive them, and they are very acutely aware of social norms. So the last point here is the way in which these individuals connect is a huge theme. Mars, if you're ruled by Mars, drive, temper, and lust are really big themes for you. Individuals who are ruled by Mars push boundaries, and the way in which these individuals take action is a huge theme. So if you are somebody that's ruled by Mars, just know that the action that you take in this life and what you decide to do is extremely important, more so than others. So like a Mercury dominant person might be challenged to think and come up with new ideas in this lifetime, where you are challenged to take those ideas and put them into some form of action. Like, what will you do in this lifetime is a huge, huge question for you. Mars dominant people also tend to really need and thrive with some form of exercise or movement practices. You, out of any other sign, is the most somatic, it's the most in the body. So you really need to tap into your inner knowing by feeling in your body, and being able to move your body. Next one. The sun. So, if you're ruled by the sun, self expression is huge for you. Also, personal growth. Individuals who are ruled by the sun have something notable about the way they express themselves. It's how you express that is a huge theme. So, if you look at modern astrology, it really relates like the planets to specific houses. And traditional rulership doesn't do this, but I do think that there is a piece of truth to it. And the sun relates to the fifth house in modern astrology. And the fifth house is all about self expression and creativity. So, if you are ruled by the sun, there's something that is very essential about the way that you express yourself and the way that you choose to share your creative projects. And it's also very important that you be seen in this lifetime. There's something about you being witnessed and you being seen, that's very essential for you. So, whether you're being seen in the media or on a stage or just even by your community at large, it's just really essential to who you are to be witnessed. And it might be that others are witnessing you because they need to be inspired by you. And the sun is very inspiring because it shines so brightly. You're really not meant to hide in this lifetime. You're really meant to, have people see you authentically and vulnerably. Next one is Jupiter. If you're ruled by Jupiter, lucky you. Luck, travel, expansion, risk taking, ego, and optimism. Individuals who are ruled by Jupiter have something notable about the way they expand in the world. And expansion is a really big theme for you. Jupiter is also really big for like big ideas. And I had mentioned this before, but Jupiter wants to expand. It sees the future and it sees the possibilities, and big ideas are really good for this. Also, those ruled by Jupiter, it's happened quite a few times, is they become writers or actors because they are being published or showing these big ideas in some way. Next one is Saturn. Saturn rules restriction, challenges work. Individuals ruled by Saturn have something notable about the way they persevere in the world, and perseverance is big for you. Now, you might be thinking, if you've listened to this whole thing in comparison to somebody like Jupiter who attracts things more naturally, Saturn actually makes you go through the test of time and makes you work really hard. You might be like, dang it, why do I have to work so hard and other people just get things gifted to them? But the thing about Saturn is that it will make you put in the hard work, and it will make you like continue to persevere throughout time, but you will emerge as somebody who's very wise and very gifted in their craft. And it's likely that whatever you do decide to do, you will be an expert at this because you have put in so much time and so much dedication. You will emerge like this refined piece of, I don't know, piece of what is something refined? It's like it's in my head, but I can't think of it. Like a stone, a gemstone or something. You will emerge very refined. And actually, people who are Saturn ruled, people often see you as like very like business savvy, because you do have the skills. Okay, so essentially, our ruling planet can tell us a lot about thematic elements in our life. Psychologically, understanding the ruling planet can help you tap into some of your greatest gifts. It can also help you understand how prone to shifts you are as an individual based on the speed of the planet. And focusing on the position of your ruling planet and the transits can help you expand on what themes you're currently working through. So, what I want you to do is just go ahead and explore your ruling planet. This will be in a separate video, but exploring, we'll go back here, where your ruling planet sits in the zodiacal wheel in your personal chart will help clue you into even more information about who you are as a person. So remember, if we see Taurus here, that means that you are ruled by Venus. And if I look here at my natal chart, Venus is placed into the 11th house of community. So something about my Venus placement in community are really big themes for me. 11th house can also represent being online or in the digital world. So that is a really big theme. So yes, comment below what your ruling planet is, where it sits in your birth chart, and any questions you have. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. I enjoyed having you.